You know, sometimes you gotta acknowledge the signs, kid.
My name is Jay Fry. I'm a retired high school teacher and coach. For the last 25 years as an educator, I worked with at-risk students. For the past 8 years, I've been a background actor and been on set in over 30 different productions, and I've been fortunate now to have a few speaking roles in indie movies. Well, Rick, at first, of course, I was just excited to have a speaking role. But after meeting you and being able to talk and hear about your vision for North Point and how you were working to portray the frustrations and challenges that many of our youth face today, North Point took on new meaning for me because I saw some of the predicaments of my students in your script. I play Roy, and he is older, but because of his habits and behaviors, he has health issues. He is now becoming more dependent on his grandson. He knows his best days are behind him, and he can see his world and influence shrinking down to the size of his kitchen. And he's also recognizing the mistakes that he made and mistakes that impacted his family by exposing them to his gambling and drinking. Now, Roy is not the most inspiring guy as we meet him in North Point. But behind his rough facade was a younger man who tried to provide for his family. He always had a hustle going on. And I think of today's gig workers, but then Roy was often working outside the law. But now he tries to show his love by passing on his knowledge and experience to his grandson, Justin. And all this while Justin is starting to become his caretaker. So Roy's living between a fading past and shrinking present. He's dealing with guilt and mistakes of the past. And one way he can do that is by holding on to those times that he acted on instinct and had a big win or score gambling. So he's bouncing back and forth between these two mental states. And for me to do this honestly and well, I needed some coaching. So I started meeting with Christine Bruner from Limelight Studios in Dayton. And Christine is a terrific coach and teacher and actor in her own right. And I also met with Abby Ensema of Audition Room 513. So I was trying to become Roy. And the week before filming, my wife told me, she said she was going to be glad when this movie was over because she was tired of living with Roy. So maybe I was able to do that. But Rick, ultimately, my main motivation, I wanted to do you justice for your screenplay and movie. I believe in your mission for this movie, in your vision for the movie, and I cannot thank you enough. Well, North Point is a story about people trying to make their way to a better life. And of course, that means making more money. And then when you're trying to make more money with fewer opportunities available, then a level of desperation can result. So I think the characters of North Point can be found in every small city that has experienced economic and industrial downsizing. I was just thankful to be part of your vision for North Point, Rick. The script, the crew, the cast that you put together was fantastic. Like Mike Dickman, in charge of lighting. I met him on the Bruce Willis movie Hard Kill. Mike lit up a factory. It was just amazing. Patrick Meyer, the cinematographer, and the framing and montages that he did was just beautiful. And then all of your actors, in every scene, they were so honest and genuine and just fun to watch. But especially Trey Dawson and Tsunami Rodriguez in their scene, very moving and poignant in the relationship that they had. And then my scene with Joe Howell, rehearsing with Joe and you And the day of filming was just a real joy and pleasure to be a part of. So thank you for putting everything together. Your planning and preparation was just phenomenal, and your leadership provided inspiration for all of us. I can't thank you enough. I was all in, Rick. I was all in on this movie. When I first saw North Point at the premiere, I was really blown away by the beauty of the cinematography, by the montages. I know I said that, but I was an art teacher when I first started as an educator, so I'm visually oriented. But your story, the screenplay, what is happening to the characters in the movie, I hope people will begin to understand the desperation that can result from having few opportunities. And so many of our young people, and older probably, now are facing that challenge today. So I hope people will come away with empathy when they hear about or see people that seem to make choices that don't make sense. Maybe they can think back about North Point and have a bit of grace.